Yo, yo, yo. The first yo with the community, Discord, Dynasty Daddy, startup leagues actually drafting. Not all of them yet. Shout out to the Foxtrot, and Golf Daddy leagues. I promise in the next day or two they will be filled, and we will actually be voting on polls and getting those started. I've got some leads on some people that have reached out. So if you want to be a future lead and be in either a best ball or lineup league, those are gonna start ASAP Rocky. We need to get those going because we've got the Hall of Fame game Thursday, right? Your Panthers?
I guess so. We see Dynasty Jake saying,
Yes,
who
sir.
plays in that?
Carson
that game?
Beck's starting for the Cardinals. It sounds like that'll be fun.
It's Carson Beck and I forgot who the quarterback for the Panthers is going to be. That's a tough look. I don't know. I know it's not Bryce Young.
Yeah, I wonder who actually is gonna play. What is the Panthers QB room? Because Dalton is an Eagle.
I mean, Dalton's still Kenny Pickett. That's who it is.
Oh
I was like, it's a weird name.
The Kenny Pickett jump
it's
scare.
A weird name.
Wow. Kenny Pickett he's giving me like Drew Lock vibes. Like I will just always think of him in the same vein as Drew Lock. Slightly less cool.
I mean, Kenny Pickett's like the perfect backup for Bryce Young. You know, small hands, a little bit undersized. Fits the short mold.
What is this? I was told there would be Honey Nut Cheerios. I have been going for the protein Cheerios. The entire family enjoys them. So out of all the ridiculous insert food name snack here and then in all caps protein underneath it, that's the one that's been hitting in the Sanders household.
That's the one that they're like, oh, I get some protein at least.
But what's good? We got some people from the startups. Actually, I think everybody here is from the startups. We probably should should we do the news thing? You know, the people that click into the video. Do you think they want to go straight to talking about the startups?
Probably should,
Debo is I mean, this is kind of like a two-part. Debo back to the Niners with Ricky Pearsall. Unfortunately, sounds like it's going to be season ending. What a bummer, man. I feel like there's just always those players where it's just kind of like
it just never, and it's not like some players that it's like, okay, I get it. Yeah, like you're a knucklehead off the field, you know. But I'm like Ricky Pearsall, I'm like,
poor guy.
He gets shot by just like existing.
That is not injury prone, getting shot.
Yeah. I know. I'm like, I do feel bad for him because last year is all we really got to see from him, and it was all right, but hopefully this year would have been kind of his real breakout next to Mike Evans. But I mean, even Mike Evans seems like he's out now with like a quad injury or something.
The substation claims all souls, except for CMC, hopefully. Actually, spoiler alert, I saw you take CMC in one of the startups. I
did. What was the fourth round? It's the fourth round.
Fourth round, and it's like a small PPC, but like if you're ever locking in 20 carries in a PPC league, it's Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll touch on our team builds and such. But yeah, I mean, I was like, it's a fourth round. I'll take CMC. If CMC doesn't fit my team, well, who doesn't want CMC? There's going to be contenders that like a first round pick to a rebuilder is like CMC to a contender. Like you go to a contender and CMC, like every contender will always want CMC. There's never a contender that's like, no, don't give me the best running back by far in terms of fantasy football.
I feel it. And this is, okay, right here, 49ers push their wide receivers too hard. It was the running backs. Remember like all the Mostert seasons? It was just like I mean, you could even go back recently. The Niners have just constantly dealt with major injuries to not even just skill position players too, but like Warner and
this might be me just talking out of my head.
That's what the stream's all about.
But I know like Harbaugh, like all the Ravens players were like, oh, it's going to be so nice that like we don't have like full contact during the season and get all banged up. And I think the 49ers are also known for being very physical, and they got the substation, but being very physical in practice, having one of the more demanding practices. And like, I think it's kind of like that, you know, not a doctor, but yeah, you have you want to get enough plays, like physical practices, so it's not like a shock to the body. But obviously you have other sides where it's like, if it's way too physical, In these couple teams always seem to break down when it comes to week 8, week 10, week
Just some
12. It's like
walkthroughs.
maybe something's going on. Maybe make it a little bit easier for them.
It is. I mean, yeah. This analysis is so. It is not worthwhile me even continuing it. But man, it's these are like the strongest men in the world. Like there's a little bit of you want to get ready for football. That was a big Lions thing, right? Shout out to Dan Campbell. Like we're gonna do some. Luckily, we did not deal with it pre-season, but in season got brutalized injury wise. Yo, what is up, Kyle? Guess what? I'm working on my first Fantasy Football YouTube video. Hey, let's go. Let us know.
You'll have to post it into the Discord.
Heck yeah,
The self-promote channel.
We could do a live. We should do a live watch, review, analysis, breakdown, everything.
Honestly, React content's pretty big. React content's big.
Yeah, just change the whole trajectory of the YouTube.
That's how we get big. Is we just react to fantasy football YouTube videos.
It's a lot less. It would be a lot less work than trying to actually pull together. And for us to coordinate recording a video. Jeremy and I are on. What are we on? Week 2 of trying to find a time to record. We just we just gotta quit our reviewing
Flock
jobs.
Fantasies wide receiver rankings for
This is
honestly,
terrible.
I do think because the rankings videos, I will say the weekly grind, the content creators that do the weekly grind of like wide receiver rankings, running back rankings for every single week. I respect that like crazy because I don't know if I could ever really do that. That's just the amount of effort that goes into churning that out so quick. But if you were ever to do it, honestly, just reacting to someone's list would probably be the best way to do it. Because it's like I don't have to put it all together. I can just be like, hey, this is dumb. The people that put all that together, that's a ton of work.
This is 100%. And speaking of the best ball streams, all right, guys, I apologize. Here's the thing.
Ooh.
The green screen arrives tomorrow. Okay. And I know you're thinking,
it's gonna get wacky.
Why'd you get a green screen? There was like
wacky.
It's been on my to-do list for my entire life to own a green screen in some capacity. Don't ask.
Most people's
why
bucket
or
list
what.
is like retire at the beach or something. Yours is like own a green screen. Check.
It was important. But with that being said, there will be Will Best Ball streams at some point. I promise. Maybe tomorrow. Okay. I guess my wife's going to a Train concert. I didn't know they were still making music. Shout out to Train. But yeah, so maybe we'll do a best ball stream tomorrow. All right, let's get into. I know we had one message that was before I had gotten things ready. My apologies, but I got you, Sean. Don't worry, I didn't click because I didn't have it, but I made it. 12-team Superflex, start 10 PPR, send Olave, and get a 2027 mid-late first and a 28 second. And the wide receiver room I think is really important for the context of this trade. Puka, JSN, London, Lamb, Olave, Marv, Addison, and Reed. 12 by 10, just insanely stacked. I mean, you're already having to bench, I assume, in a 12 by 10, having to bench one, if not two, of, I mean, unless it's 3 wide receiver, 2 flex, potentially. But still, I mean, potentially having to bench Olave. If not, we get the Marv breakout season. In a vacuum, I think it's pretty good price to buy Olave. Mid to late first and a second. Like, I think that's a really good Olave buy price, especially post-contract. But on this team, with a stacked wide receiver room, are you in the business of, let me cash out for a first, even if it's a guy I like?
Yeah. I mean, this is tough because, like, I think in a normal league, you probably are like, hey, this is amazing. And, not to pull your pants down on the stream, but you did send 2 first-round picks. So for Olave earlier this offseason, so a first and a second probably seems like a big steal to you.
I think is a late first in the 2026 class really a first, or is that like an early second?
That's fair. That is fair.
But no, here's the one thing, and I've talked about this before, that a lot of times when we get these trades in, we want to think in the context of like, which side are you taking? To me, I am trying to see can I move one of these receivers in another trade to like up tier at running back or something, or like get a first in something else? Just because I think Olave carries a lot more weight in trades than a mid to late first and a 2028 second. So like the flexibility aspect I do kind of get, and I talk about it a lot, is when you have these stacked teams in these 12x9, 12x10s, you want to get future firsts so that you have that flexibility in season. But to me, like the flexibility of Olave, especially the post contract, I mean, I think people are a lot less scared about I know he was like sitting out, was it like some kind of like drainage stuff or something? But I think people are a lot less scared about the Olave concussion stuff, especially post massive contract. So I'm probably trying to find a different deal than just a straight up mid to late first.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's
just
just
wonder,
cheap
like,
for Olave.
I think it's like fair, but it's also just like, okay, like,
I mean,
do I
like,
need to do it now?
Your mid to late first in the 2027 class, wouldn't you just love that to be Olave? Like, wouldn't that just be like, oh my goodness, bang hit? That's where I'm at. Like, Olave's not 28 or something, 25,
No, I mean,
massive contract.
That's fair.
Thank you.
Well, what about that? What 2020 something?
2028
second round pick.
When your team's stacked, yeah. So I don't think it's
2028 class is 30 deep.
I just think that if we read this and the wide receiver room was not stacked, we'd be like, no, do not do that. Like, I get it, the flexibility.
Yeah.
So I don't want to just lean on the stacked part of cashing out for a first, even though we talk about it.
I don't think selling a Olave for a first and second would be bad but it's like on the different ends of the spectrum, right? If my team, all I had was like Olave and it's like kind of a rebuild, like sure, take the picks. Like you need to kind of reposition your team.
Yeah.
Or this team where you have a million good wide receivers and Olave is like your fifth bench guy. It's like, well, like what is he going to do? Like, and I would probably be looking more for trying to tier up and either take advantage of still having Olave on my roster and consolidating somewhere over this type of deal. But if this is the best deal you got, I probably end up just taking it.
Yeah. Like I don't mind going cross positionally, especially if your like running back room is weak or something. Like you have the assets to have a super team and flexibility with this wide receiver room, or at least a strong contender and flexibility. All right. I did just get word that I'm on the clock in the Daddy League. Is it time? Real quick, I'll go speed mode here. Jake Plummer Jr., Cyrus Allen. We got there was a positive coach speak straight into injury. Is that where we're at with Cyrus Allen?
I know. I saw Cyrus Allen fly up the board, and then all of a sudden he crashed down.
Hey, what are you doing? All right,
we got a special guest.
You want to say hi? Okay. All right, this is Emmy. You say hi. Are you okay? She needs water. All right, I'm gonna go get her water. Jeremy,
sounds good. I can. I got some practice doing the solo stream, so I got this.
And then I will be back to make my pick.
Well, it's hard to top that. We can run through a few messages. I know we got two Dynasty Daddy leagues live currently. I did my picks before the draft or before the stream. We could also touch on, I know that we had a couple big contracts. We had Bijan Robinson signing a 3-year extension for $75 million, $51 million guaranteed. Not really surprising. I mean, it's obviously Bijan. We also have Zay Flowers, the guy that Will and I enjoy as well, but 4-year, $140 million, 108 guaranteed. It's crazy. It's crazy the difference between a Bijan caliber player getting only $51 million, but it's a running back, so it's the position. And then Zay Flowers with the 108. But that's, neither here nor there. Both players are staying in the same spot. We got, let's see, we touched on Kyle. Kyle, you have to share your YouTube channel in the Discord. I'll definitely check out the video, and maybe we'll do some React content. I will say, is it time for Haynes King? 4th or 5th string? See, this is how you know you don't watch some good ACC football. because Haynes King, quarterback for Georgia Tech, got them up into the top 10. And then guess who went? Shouts to my father-in-law who went to Georgia Tech. We went to Georgia Tech, NC State, where NC State upset them. And it was a little bit tense. It but it was a fun atmosphere. So Haynes King's now on the Panthers. I think he was a undrafted free agent, if I recall.
Shout out to everybody calling me a good dad, or I guess just this one message, but I know you're all feeling it.
Everyone, yeah.
No.
Dad of the Year award on the Dynasty Daddy stream.
And to be fair, okay, I will let it known. I did get her a water for bedtime. Okay, she had a filled up water bottle.
Wow.
So
she was just thirsty.
So honestly, bad daughter award. So like, just drink the water that I already gave you.
Okay, scratch the good dad award.
We'll talk about it later.
You know what? I'm gonna blame my daughter.
How did I not start the news section off with the big Zay Flowers contract? Huh? Was it 4 years, 140 mil? We got JSN
$140
money.
mil, 108
Deserved.
guaranteed. That's crazy.
I'm just excited.
I was just saying Bijan got a 51 million guaranteed, and I was like,
that Gibbs
Bijan
contract
caliber is crazy.
No, the I am excited. I mean, if you want to hear about my excitement about Zay Flowers, you could probably click on a random Dynasty Daddy YouTube recorded video, and there's 25% chance I'm talking about Zay Flowers. But the under center stuff, Ravens were like super, super low in under center rate. I think like bottom 10 last year. Mm-hmm. And we know. And it's like so funny too, because when you just think about what other team can execute play action better than the Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry Ravens. Like, that is just why are they not number one, top five? No, that's so I'm just excited for what that could do for efficiency in the passing game.
I'm not a football genius by any means, but I also the amount of times I'm watching the Ravens in a big game, and I'm like, you have Lamar and you have Derrick Henry, and then you see them lose, and the stat line's like they ran the ball 2 times in the second half. And I'm like, what? Like, how do you just stop running the ball? Like, you have 2 of the best runners of the football we have seen like this decade.
Mm. Justice Hill, third down, wheel route. That's what it's all about. All right, am I clicking over? I was gonna do the full breakdown of this. Has been a weird. Let's just get started. This has been a weird startup draft. Oh gosh. Okay, that's the wrong. That's what the OBS looks like, everybody.
Oh boy, we're getting a behind the scenes look.
See, this is I was trying to get the stuff set up for the best ball stream, and then so I think I changed all of my display captures, but it's okay. Will is quick on his feet and figured it out. Bang. Best producer award. All right. Okay. Let's all right, this has been a weird startup. A lot of wonky trades. I'm actually going to do this really quick before we get into anything. Replacement here at the 103. Started off with a wild trade from the 103 spot. This is a 0.10 point per carry league, and we probably should click over and look at the war because I feel like it is pretty interesting. Running backs. Okay, what happened to my overlay, guys? There it is.
Best of producer award.
No. Wait, where did that come from? Oh, okay. We're doing our best, guys. This just might be
just wait till the green screen comes in. It's gonna turn it all around.
Guys, can you imagine if there was a green screen?
Can you imagine?
Actually, no, honestly. Wait, honestly. This okay, this actually will probably be decent, right? Yeah, look at that. There we go. This is a reasonable overlay to have. All right. So right here, one pick in the first 6 rounds. Okay. James Cook at the 211 there. Made other picks that ended up turning into trades. You see some of my name lit up there. But this first trade.
That is crazy.
This first trade. Yeah, it is wild. I actually, does anybody know? I probably should have checked this, but we can go trade by trade here. So this first one was moving out of the 103, going back to the 603. Sorry. Moving out of the 103 to get 211, 311, and a 2027 first, also giving back 603 and the 1510. In a vacuum, what did you think about this when you saw it come through? And this is running backs are pretty strong in this league. The point per carry, I think it's just 0.10, which isn't insane. It is also a start 2 tight end.
Mm-hmm.
I might pull up the tool here. All right, I don't want to waste people's time too much, but I'll go quickly through this just so we're not yapping about all these wild first-round pick trades. But I do think that if we're going to do a quick note on each of these, I do kind of like this trade. You stay in the second and third with the trade back. Like, you are giving up the elite running back in a format that elite running backs are really, really impactful. But look at the pick there at the 211. I mean, still getting an elite producing running back. Like, obviously not the value of, Bijan or Gibbs that are going to go there at the 103 in this format. But first round pick on top of it. And then that 311 pick, which also ended up being a running back. Yes, thank you. This is a PPR 3 wide receiver 2 tight end premium 0.5. So it's start 2 tight end, 0.5 tight end premium. And it is a 12 by 11. So it is like a pretty deep league. And you especially like feel it at the tight end spot, obviously. Start 2 tight end. So I think this that first trade was interesting. I am going to make an appearance on one of these.
First trade.
All right, here's the second one that came through. So this was from the 310. Traded the 310 and an 1110 for a 2027 first and the 706. And I do think when you kind of do like the player-to-player comparison stuff, like if you look at who might be available, so that 310 pick ended up being Pickens. So like the wide receiver spot, especially in this type of draft, 706, you might be looking at like, Jalen Waddle, probably at best. Like you're probably pushing down into kind of this Christian Watson, Wandale, Addison, but you get a first stacked on top of that. Do you like that one? Or is that too elite, the 310? Obviously, for what he's doing, it makes sense. Just punting. But
I feel like it's a little. I think in a vacuum, like kind of to zoom out, this is definitely a punt, like Kyle said. Because, if we break down all the trades that have gone through, he's made 6 trades. He's acquired 4 first-round picks for 2027. So now he has 5 2027 picks. I think it's hard to know if this is a good trade, though. Because if this pick is like a late first, I'm like, or like a midish to late first, I'm like, this kind of stinks to go from 3 to 7 and then get like the 110.
Yeah.
Like that to me would stink. But we don't really know what that team's going to look like right now. So it could be something of like, oh man, that's the 104. Now that's looking a lot better. But to me, I don't know. I feel like that is a big drop down from like 3rd to 7th. Is you're kind of just saying, I'm not getting any of the guys within the range of outside of the top 3 or 4 guys in the upcoming draft. Realistically, they're not going to be higher than a 3rd round startup pick. So it's harder for me to say that 2027 alone kind of, I don't know. I feel like that I would not have wanted to do that. But I think it's hard to know without knowing what that pick is. Yeah. It's really just like, how many of these can I pry off someone? And eventually one of them, I will win the trade and maybe get like Arch Manning or, Jeremiah Smith, or I'll end up with a bad team first round pick.
And when you're taking your own pick,
take a ton of shots.
Yeah. And too, when I think you're doing this thing, when you start stacking these first round picks, this is a league median league as well, which, little spoiler alert, got a little crazy. I saw some first round picks being tossed around and thought, Okay, actually, first mini spoiler alert. We'll go to my first trade that I made. Shout out to JTech. So I was at the 302 spot, and Drake London is sitting there, and I love Drake London. I really do. But I started Trey McBride, Lamar, and really was going to lean into like aggressively taking running backs. Like that was my game plan. And I'll show the war chart real quick here. I think in this type of league specifically, the elite production running back seasons versus some of the other positions, and we can look at points per game too, so you can like see what the PPC really feels like. But I think these like elite CMC, Bijan, JT, Gibbs, Achan running back seasons, I think are like pretty impactful in this league. And I do think because there's a small point per carry, I had a feeling that running backs, potentially could fly off the board. Like you could see a pretty big stretch run. And we might get one in this startup here pretty soon. If you look at just like how confident people are that the running backs are taken are.
I will say you're on the clock right now.
I am on the clock. So right here, this was another part. So you see this like point, just purely points per game. We're not looking at war right now. The running backs versus the other positions. And I think it's these elite ones where you are tying the like PPC floor with elite scoring upside.
Yeah. Like even with this is kind of the thing. I mean, like any point per carry is just going to continue to boost the power of running backs right now.
Yeah.
Like if you have a healthy running back, you could even see like, a guy like Ashton Jinty last year, which like, let's be honest, like, was he great? But he was all right, and he played most games. Still 32nd most important player in this league, and that's going to be the point per carry boosting him. But just even without that, the power of running back currently, based off the past 2-ish years, it's hard to sit here and say I don't want to invest in those guys that do have that kind of guaranteed role. That's going to be worth a lot.
All right, I'm gonna stop. Oh, I'm gonna waste everyone's time a tiny bit more, and then I promise to stop wasting everyone's time. So I'm gonna give you this trade analysis real quick, and then I'm gonna show you the trade that I don't think chat is gonna like, but it is important that I go through it so that I can tell you about this next pick I'm going to make. So I started Trey McBride, Lamar. Drake London is sitting there on the clock, which like pure positional tier wise, I like Drake London a decent amount more than like the running backs that I would take at that pick specifically, even in this format. I kind of wanted to see if I could push quarterback, especially with what you'll see with my future picks here, what I was able to do. But I traded out of the 302, got a 2027 first, 606, 707, and a 27 third, and also had to give my 27 second to get that deal done, which then influenced the what are you doing will trade everyone has been waiting for. I clicked the wrong one after all that setup. With the replacement. Saw the first getting moved around and thought, why not me? I moved both my first and the JTech first that I got in that trade to, it's kind of funny when this happens, but it was for Jonathan Taylor at the 210, which was a pick that had already happened. So I like retroactively made this trade going backwards when the replacement was on the clock.
It was like the Luka, where the Hawks picked Luka and then traded him.
Yes. So this was when replacement was on the clock at the 311. You see I traded for that pick, the 210, moving both of my firsts, giving back 2 6-round picks, 803. I don't think people are going to like this. I think like if people saw this trade, I feel pretty confident that having 3 stud running backs producing is going to like carry you to a top 3-4 seed, especially in a league median in this league specifically. And maybe I'm a little bit too confident in that, but I am big on Kenneth Walker this season, big on JT this season. I think it could be best offensive line Kenneth Walker's played for and the best role he's had in his career. So I did the thing, moved the firsts, and I'm all in. And I think that's going to influence this next pick right here. So you see the current team, Lamar, JT.
Derrick Henry music?
Yes, sir. Lamar, JT, Kenneth Walker, Olave, Trey McBride. Let me know in the chat who you guys think I should pick. I am leaning. I don't know if I have any Travion running back shares. I think I am 100% taking a running back here, and it is Travion or Barkley. Quarterbacks are interesting as well. The tight ends are pretty dry. You saw Pitts here, and then I feel like
you already got Lamar too, so you kind of
I feel more comfortable pushing quarterback. Wide receiver wise, I made a small trade up here to get Olave. It was Olave and Wilson were kind of the two wide receivers that I felt like were a decent amount of tier break because you still want a strong producer. But
this is where I was at because I took 2 picks earlier. I took Judkins, but I was debating between Judkins and Saquon because I was like, a Saquon bounce back here would be nice and kind of fit a contender window. But I was like, I already got CMC, so I want a little bit of someone that might be around in 2-3 years. But for this team, you don't have your first round picks. I do think shooting for the Barkley upside is what you want, especially since you already got Walker, Taylor that probably have more of a defined role. I'm not more of a defined role, but or probably we assume they're going to be very productive. Just add in Barkley, who is all right, but obviously has the league winning upside of a CMC or a Derrick Henry.
And I do have, this is one trade I did make. So I was on the clock and could have taken, I was staring down a handful of running backs. And I think when I decided in my mind that Barkley was potentially one of the picks I was going to make, it was either, there's a list of running backs and 3 of them went here. I was deciding between Bucky, who I love. I understand the Kenneth Gainwell fear and everything. I think Bucky, that offensive line was so injured last year. I think Bucky's going to be awesome this year. I was thinking about Bucky. I thought potentially, would you have taken Bucky over Quinshawn if he was available there? That was my one thought. I thought trading back here. So you see, I moved back from the 504 to the 507 and moved up from the 902 to the 806. I thought there was a chance I would get Bucky to come back to me just because I feel like people are just out on Bucky. He's not as exciting, especially when you're thinking about consistent producers. I think people feel better about Kyron, even with the quorum stuff. Saquon, obviously, and then Quinshawn. If you're buying a young running back, I think people feel safer than Bucky.
Yeah, I mean, to me, they're all in the same tier. I probably lean Judkins, to be honest. I think he has, I know he was banged up a little bit last year, but he looked like a true guy. Just never really had bad moments. And he was on a bad team. So I'm hoping that, I don't think next year will be much better for the Browns, but there's always a bad team that can surprise. And hopefully that offensive line is improving.
Made a lot of changes.
Is I think has a long-term upside that some other guys don't have. I do think Bucky also has that though.
Yeah.
But there's just a little bit of noise, I just rather get a guy. I know Judkins' value around the league is pretty stable, whereas Bucky, you can talk to some people and they're like, yeah, he's a 7th round startup pick. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But Bucky has people that are very much out.
Yeah. So because I was comfortable taking Saquon with these picks, felt better about that trade back. I do think it's going to be Saquon. This 100% could be a making the Travion bet team, but I think when you move your first, I do feel very good about the Saquon potential. I like what I'm hearing about more under the center stuff. I think the whatever Petula was cooking last year. I'm going to do it. Clicking the button. 29-year-old Saquon Barkley, come on down to the Lamar, JT, Kenneth Walker, Olave, Trey McBride, Saquon start. And I know what you're thinking. Wow, great looking contending team. We're not done. Okay, no picks in the 6th round, but look at this. 2 in the 7th and 2 in the 8th. We are going to fill out the starting lineup, guys. Don't you worry. I know everyone was worried about how
we'll do it live. We'll do the stream live. We'll 8-hour timer.
At when Bilson OTC. Let's get me to my next pick in the 7th round ASAP. True.
The who? TF drafted JSN, followed by he eats Tide Pods. Don't worry about him. That got me while you're giving your what's it called? Monologue.
Yeah, you could call that a lot of things. There we go. At when Bilson OTC. There we go. Boom. All right. The yikes. You know what? When I made that trade, that like 2 first one for Kenneth Walker and JT, I think there was a decision that was made in my mind and my heart that I don't think the Dynasty community is going to like the rest of Will's startup draft. And I was okay with that.
It's okay, you know. I think one of the first, I think it was Dynasty Daddy League of Champions or something. I traded up for, that was back in the day when everyone took quarterbacks, and I was like, 2 elite quarterbacks that will carry you. Traded up, like I was like Lamar and Patrick Mahomes, and then they both get banged up and injured off and on. And then I tiered down. I kept trying to tear down to recoup some of the value, and I ended up with like Anthony Richardson. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's the bet I have, and then obviously we saw how that went. So yeah, sometimes you just got to commit. You know, you got to stand on it.
This will be an interesting like league dynamic year 2, just with how many people have moved their own firsts, how many people are building strong contending teams, and then you see some like obviously Dude Crush here, no running backs through the first 5 rounds, but like stud young wide receiver room. Obviously Drake May. It's also a 6-point passing touchdown league as well. There's a lot of interesting.
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Because my draft wasn't super interesting
so
far, but I had one.
I do like your picks
spot on the clock that I had to really like sit and think on, and it was the 2nd round pick between Justin Jefferson and Jeremiah Love.
Yeah,
I just didn't know where to go. Justin Jefferson last year would have been up there with Puka and Chase, and I'm like, I can't let him go to the mid-second. But then I'm also like Jeremiah Love, like exciting rookie upside, but like, am I overpaying? Is it a Genty situation where it's RB in a bad offense? It's not going to be very efficient. Like, should I go with the upside of an elite wide receiver? I don't know. Like, that was something, and I still don't feel like I truly know the answer. I feel better with how it rounded out with the CMC Judkins pick. I'm like, okay, cool. Got some running backs to build around those 2 elite wide receivers. But that was definitely an interesting dilemma. I never really just had those players in a vacuum compared to each other. Because there was times I was like, I think I should take Love.
I know, and I don't want to be too like format locked in, because I don't think it feels very drastic for like running backs being like the better picks in a vacuum. When you think about you're starting 2 tight ends, it is 6-point passing, touchdown, and obviously you can flex and play 4 running backs, but it's start 3 receivers. So like you could play 5 receivers, especially when you start JSN Puka. I do kind of like, I will say for 1 point for the Jefferson pick, I will say is I'm surprised that like Breece Hall, I mean, people are down on Bucky, I get it, but I'm surprised that like this stretch of running backs survived until the like late 4th, mid 5th.
Yeah.
But I do think that it probably is obviously these tight ends being pushed up in a start 2 tight end format. All these receivers that went, man, we got Burden on the thumbnail. We haven't talked about it. Was there an injury? I saw some kind of like Burden leaving practice. Can somebody give me some kind of he's going to be okay report? But obviously Ben Johnson talking about the way Amon-Ra and Jarvis Landry approaches the game. He's talked about in the past about my slot wide receiver eats in the offense. Who's the slot for the Bears? There's a lot of Burden buzz. Straight up, who scores more fantasy points ever in the chat this season? Rome Odunze or Luther Burden? PPR fantasy points.
It says Burden was slow to get up after a hard hit at the end of Tuesday's practice, but he told reporters afterward he's fine.
Nice. Love hearing that.
From Adam Johns.
Ooh, let's go. So, yeah, hold on to that. What was you had another hit that was like, wait, was it Kenny Pickett or am I thinking of something else? You had some sort of backup quarterback hit. That was kind of cool.
Well, I Googled it, the Kenny Pickett one.
Okay. All right.
I knew Haynes King. Because I love myself some ACC football.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know football season's back because we were just talking about, 1, we were talking about the Hall of Fame game, but 2, I put in a claim for Khalil Herbert in a league. That's how you know football's back.
That's it. Yeah. I remember, this is like a random story. This is when we were first starting Dynasty. and created a league. And one of my friends was like, dude, I'm like a genius scout. And like he started hyping himself up. We're like, dude, shut up. Like, shut the hell up. And he's like, my 5th round pick in my rookie draft is going to be a producer on my team. And we're like, no way, dude. No way you're going to be able. And he drafted Khalil Herbert. And Khalil Herbert did have that stretch where he was like a viable guy. But it evened out because he took Kyle Hamilton in the 2nd round of the rookie draft. And we're like, dude, it's start 1 DB. Like, why are you taking...
He picked a good player. I don't know if like the format calls for that pick. Bias. Okay.
But there's always those guys.
This is the Echo Daddy League. This is also a lineup league. A little bit more basic. No points per carry in this one. It is a full point tight end premium, but only start 1 tight end. And I believe does it also start 11? 3, 6, yeah. No, 10.
I think so.
Wait, 4.
I will say, 6. Will.
Yes, sir.
If you look at my first 2 rounds of this draft, do they look familiar?
Bro, copycat. And you're gonna, I know you.
I got Jonathan Taylor too.
It is funny. It was the exact. Well, I guess I was at the 111 spot, but
I need Kenneth Walker to make it back to the 410, or maybe I should trade up for him.
Not if I have anything to say about it. He's not making it past that 408. All right, JT slightly better in my format that I took him five picks earlier, but no, W start. How is JT not gonna? And I feel bad. I'm so we both take JT in this draft. We're both talking about how excited we are for JT as like on contenders, and we had that trade at the end of last stream that was a super team trying to buy JT for like it was like 2 firsts and ETN or something.
Well, that's still a good amount.
Oh yeah, no, it was a heavy price to pay. It was just funny that we were like, yeah, is it really worth it? Ooh, there we go. While we had it pulled up, good ACK.
Start. Bully people into it
with the dart.
The Jalen Hurts slide, I just don't. I still don't buy it.
I know. I am excited for the offense overall. To me, we've done the Hurts thing before. It is just I think people think that there's like a 10-15% chance that he is not the Eagles starting quarterback next season.
And it's like Tanner McKee,
right? And to me, it's like I don't even think that's likely if all hell breaks loose and the Eagles go like 4-12. You know, like
Sirianni would be out before they're going to pull the Sirianni lever before
the contract they
get
gave
rid
him.
of Hurts.
Yeah, I mean, I get that people like, especially in dynasty startup drafts, you get to pick which players are on your team. I understand those like 5-10% outcomes feel like 30-40% outcomes when you're choosing between individual players, and it's not like I'm trading for this player. Who am I buying? Who am I buying low or something? I do get that. I almost took Hurts at the 305, but I'm a little dirty running back, bro. So that's all I got.
I took him at the 305 in that other league.
And shout out to this has not happened to me before. I did a reverse snipe. So shout out to Droidica, who picked right before me and took Trevor Lawrence. And I checked my phone. Oh, okay, nice. Like I had a couple players start. All right, I'll take James Cook. And I saw a message go in the chat that said, "I thought I took James Cook." So it was like a reverse snipe.
At commish, can you remove your pick?
If the at commish wasn't the person that took the Cook, I would have asked.
That's a privilege of doing the job right there.
But we'll definitely we'll take a break from staring and talking through the current startup drafts. As I had mentioned, if you want to get in, we have 2 more leagues. I think we have 1. Honestly, what's funny is we have the leagues filled, but the people are not responding to the sleeper invite. So I am going to add them in Discord and see if they'll respond that way. But I definitely want to get these started. I mean, we're approaching Hall of Fame game, especially with like slow drafts. I want to get these going. So I will.
The game of the year.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna be watching Carson Pack versus Kenny Pickett.
It sounds like a bad Madden sim. Like it's one of those Super Bowls where it's like, how the hell is it Carson Beck and Kenny Pickett? When did Kenny Pickett become a 95?
The random number generator of skill point increases. But if you want to be in, shoot me a DM on Discord. I have a couple people that have reached out. But basically, if I don't hear back from the people that I've invited by tomorrow, I'm just going to fill the leagues with whoever's able to join and get in there so we can get going.
Got to get drafted.
Two is not enough. Thank you for the sub, person. Appreciate you. Sheesh. Daddy going a little faster than Echo. Daddy did start very quick. Daddy filled.
Yeah, we had that one
immediately.
Like a day or so, I feel like, earlier.
Yeah. The redraft mock. Maybe we should do, I think, closer to the season. Maybe in the next week or so.
Should we do a redraft mock? I feel like.
Well, we're doing a redraft league, right? I mean, should we just do. Maybe we do whenever we're doing that. Wait, are we doing that? Somebody said something about that. I'll figure it out. We should definitely do a Dynasty Daddy redraft league. I'm down for that. Trevor, your team is good. Actually, I forgot to read this. I'll pull it up real quick to give. Started JD5, who I was hoping to get at the 111. I'm going to be honest. Neighbors, Dart, Laporta, Garrett Wilson. So no running backs, but obviously team very young. And I do think when you take Neighbors, you're fine a little bit with, even though with the positive stuff we've been hearing. I think in a startup draft, if you're choosing Neighbors between some of these other guys, which actually I almost took Neighbors at the 202. I think if Lamar wasn't there, I'm just so in on Lamar in any
it's so hard to
not
carry. Trade for Lamar, like take Lamar to like the early second.
Dude, yeah. And I like some of the other quarterbacks, especially in a 6-point passing touchdown. Like I get, like maybe you prefer Herbert. I don't know, man. I just think people are, what have you done for me lately, pilled too much with players like Lamar and how Jaden Daniels' season went last year with the injuries, that they just forget the upside of a quarterback that will give you 10 to 12 rushes a game. Still have our 27 first, not for long. It's all roads lead to giving it to a replacement. No, but honestly, this probably should have been the way I approach things. Or maybe just the smart way to approach it if you have not already moved your first is even playing more into, like, hey, there's 7 teams that have eliminated themselves from tanking for their pick within the first 5 rounds of the startup. Like there is no thought in their minds of 2027 class because they moved their pick already. And in a league, median league, I don't hate it. Feel like I'm going to fumble with tight end Echo. Never done a full point tight end premium. Yeah, the studs have kind of, we're through Bowers, McBride, Loveland, Warren have gone. But I do think it's deep enough, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 3 flexes, that not getting a stud tight end within like the first 3-4 rounds, like you can still make up with how you're attacking skill positions.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of viable guys. Like I think 1.0 tight end premium just makes a lot of these guys like Isaiah Likely, Dalton Kincaid, 100-year-old Travis Kelce, fun flex players as well.
Yeah,
so,
and like
so even just saying, I'm just going to take 3 of them, and maybe some of them fill not just one spot, but can fill multiple spots on my starting roster.
Yeah.
Instead of a non-tight end premium league, where you're like, well, like I'm not starting Hunter Henry in my flex. With these tight end premiums, you can just kind of take all of them and then be like, well, I'll figure it out whenever which one is having a hot streak.
I hate the stretch of Dynasty. Everyone thinks they can contend, and prices are through the roof. If you feel that in your leagues, it is a good time on those strong contenders to. I think people fall into a trap of, I am a contender, so I should not be moving my contending pieces to other contenders because I'm making another team stronger. Like, if a team is willing to move their first round pick for a contending running back or wide receiver, if you won't give them that deal and like get there first, they're going to find somebody else to do that. Like first can easily be moved for contending pieces. So I think if you're a contending team that is like some of these super teams, 12x9, 12x10, that are like stacked lineups and, oh my gosh, you're benching Chris Olave every week. Like moving a contending piece for a first round pick, even as a contender, I think is not only a good move, but a move you should be doing in those kind of setups. Contending in, we're definitely contending in one other on the fringe. Yeah, I mean, if you feel like you're getting overpay prices that you're seeing people charging for their contending pieces, I think going the other way is
Yeah, I mean, I usually don't like to push it in until like week 6 or something when I'm like, okay, I can actually have some data to figure out what's the usage on my team. Is there players I should be targeting? Because even now you might be like, oh, I really need to get this win now piece. Like last year, it was like Alvin Kamara, and well, turns out Alvin Kamara's usage is completely gone this year, and it would actually be a terrible buy in the offseason of last year. But we didn't know that because we assumed past production. But past production doesn't mean future production. So having actual game logs from a current season can help you make better educated contending buy now moves.
yeah.
And a lot of times too, you can hit on a random guy late. Like, I mean, QJ was popping off early last year. Like players like that will pop, and you can find random guys like that. Parker Washington at the end of the year, definitely. I feel like you can round out a contender earlier on. You don't have to technically make that move mid startup draft. And oftentimes, if you do that mid startup draft and then you mess it up, it gets a lot harder. The only time I think you kind of do that is if you get like Christian McCaffrey. Like in that one league, I have Christian McCaffrey. I might just see Derrick Henry and be like, maybe I reach on him like around because like, why not? Like Derrick Henry, CMC, like my team now all of a sudden is one now with Puka and Justin Jefferson and Jalen Hurts. Like that team kind of speaks for itself, and then I can figure out how to round out the rest of that roster.
Yeah. All right. Jeremy is trying to take Derrick Henry around ahead of ADP in the Daddy League. Make sure you guys
do it before me.
Snipe
do
him.
it. I'm taking him next pick.
It did crack me up clicking on the Derrick Henry player card, and it's like, what is he, like 32 right now? And the thing is like not considering retirement, and I'm like, you know what? I believe it. Like that dude is playing until he's gonna have a Tom Brady card, the 41-year-old running back.
I traded him in 2020 in my first Dynasty League because I was like, he's old, man. And one QB, I traded him for Carson Wentz. And he's still dropping 300-point seasons, and Carson Wentz is gone. Like he's an alien.
Appreciate you. I will hit you up for sure. Let me know if you have a preference on best ball or lineup. Because I think we might have one opening in each. And appreciate this. 5 likes, folks. Let's get on it. Yeah. Like the stream. 52 minutes in. Make sure you like that puppy.
That's one of our better times.
And if you've been here for a minute and you haven't liked, just why don't you drop a sub?
Why?
Yeah, why? Before we got a survey in chat. Survey in description.
We need some constructive feedback.
Lineup, all right. No, duly noted. Luther Burden? Or hey, shout out to you for a thumbnail themed trade question. Let's go. Luther Burden or a mid 27 first and a 28 second.
How mid is it? Is it like the Olave mid to late trade that we started the stream with?
How mid is it? Then if
it's like if you know it's not going to be later than the 8.
I am pretty big on Luther Burden. Man, how many starters would this need to be for you to like factor in that mid pick, potentially being later still mattering because it's a deep enough league and you're also getting the second?
I mean, it's hard to know because I know the top end of the 27 class is going to be good. I don't really know what the mid's going to look like. Not saying it's going to be bad. I expect it to be pretty solid. And like we've seen those years, like, I mean, Malik Neighbors and, May and JD5. And that year it was like, oh my gosh, like you have a mid pick and it's like the 102 plus this year. So I think, honestly, I don't want to undervalue mid picks. And I think this is probably fair value to get out on Burden, considering Burden was like, into the second. He's also in a hyped offense. Like how much higher can you go?
Yeah.
Like
here
are you getting an early 27? Probably not.
Here's what I'll give you. What if it's your own? Let's assume, and we're doing a lot of assuming with this, but let's assume it's your own first, and you're filling that wide receiver 3 spot, and you're using that mid first. You're on the verge of being like, I'm a decent contender. I want to get a wide receiver. Would you send that your own first and a 28 second for Luther Burden. I think I'm fully hypnotized into the offseason hype and just a Ben Johnson slot. I think they were priming him for the DJ Moore role.
Right now. I don't think I'm buying Burden right now, to be honest. Because I think I'm buying 80% the chance that he hits. It's like buying a share of Nvidia right now, and Nvidia is like a $5 trillion company. It's like, I mean, but this is
pretty fair.
You know, like, how much more can Burden go?
I mean, go get Chris Olave. Like, if you can get Chris Olave for a first and a second, like, and you're, because I do agree that there's projecting you have to do with Burden. Obviously, losing snaps to Olamide Zaccheaus last season, and yes, no DJ Moore there, but it's second year for Colson Loveland, and maybe Rome's healthy and is still the one in theory. Like, I get it, you have to do some projecting, but it is for an offense that I think could take another step forward. I think I'm probably saying, instead of doing this trade specifically, can I go get one of those other guys we talked about? Like, I've seen Olave first and second deals. Like, start there and work down. Mm-hmm. I mean, Burden went ahead of Olave in the Daddy Day startup. 4-6, Luther Burden. I took Olave at the 4-9. The hype is real.
I mean, I think they're kind of in the same bucket. I just don't know if Burden's going to break out of that bucket. Like, is he going to go to Nico Collins?
Yeah.
Is he going to go to Drake London? Is he going to, because otherwise is he just stuck? He kind of reminds me a little bit of like Jalen Waddle, like off his rookie year or so. And everyone's like, oh, he's the guy. And I know he had Tyreek Hill come in and all of that, but still,
yeah,
I'm like the volume that you need to get into that top 6, top 8 conversation. I don't know if Burden has that.
I think, to me, like, obviously so much of Dynasty fantasy analysis for the next season is like projecting and guesswork based off of stuff. Like, to me, everything that I'm hearing and feeling is that Luther Burden is going to be closer to a full route share guy. And I think, to me, if you told me, Will, Luther Burden is like 2 wide receiver set guy, 90% route share, like, I am sending all my first and seconds for Luther Burden. Like, that's how bought in I am on, like, him as a player, and then the Bears offense overall, and the role that he could have in what we've seen Ben Johnson do for Amon-Ra.
How much do you think Rome cost?
I mean, I think Rome for sure is cheaper. Like, if we can pull up the,
like, if it's Burden for a first and a second, or like Rome for just a first.
Don't make me.
Is it like a give me any piece in this offense, or because I just want to be in this offense, or is it
I think it's
convicted on this? It's
I do think it's a Burden conviction. I'm not anti-Rome, just because I do think, shout out to Matt Harmon, I know he is in this camp of like, people want to take their sides, and it's like, this guy's gonna hit, this guy's not gonna hit. Like, I think they both can be good, but to me, the like, oh my gosh, difference making, this matters upside, I see it more with Loveland. Obviously, we all know that, but I think Burden over Rome for me. So at the cost of like a second, somewhere between a second and a third difference between those two, I'm leaning Burden.
I mean, Rome's still a little pricey for me, but I didn't know if, to me, it kind of feels like the Chargers offense, where I'm like, give me a QJ, give me whoever I can get for cheap, because I just want to be in that offense. And that's kind of how the Bears feel, but everyone's super expensive in the Bears offense anyway. So it's like, what's the cheapest option? It's probably DeAndre Swift.
Scat or Burden. Traded Scat away for Burden.
Definitely give me Burden. Scat has the injury stuff.
Scat has the injury stuff too, but I'm gonna be honest. I was like pretty out on Scat, like early, like best ball drafts, thinking about this next season coming back from the injury. Dude, isn't there just a part of you that just thinks about Scat?
You think he's like a Viking or something? Like, injuries can't weigh him down?
No. To me, it's more of just like, he just feels like a dude that is just, this is like, okay, this is even worse analysis than I usually give.
Deep analysis.
Doesn't Scat, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Let me know if you disagree. Scat to me just feels like a dude that is just going to handle 20 carries for ever. like we're going to be 8-9 years and he's David Montgomerying his way in some offense into, 16, 17, 18 touches. And he was like way more involved in the receiving game than I think people expected. Like if you look at some of that from last year, and it's the same room, right? Brought Singletary back, and it's Tyrone Tracy, Toby Gerhart at the low end. Yeah, that was. I mean, I'm going Burden for sure. Like I'm bought in on the hype, but I definitely am a little bit more in on Scat than I would have been a month or so ago after seeing that backflip. And then here's if I could get Scat for Lemon, do I accept? So you're taking
I'm taking
Burden.
Lemon.
Yeah, I am too. I really like Lemon.
To me, the injuries
Also,
like that on a running back are just tough to come back from. And it's not like he has a locked-in role anyway. And we've seen greats deal with injuries like that. Like, and I know he's older, but like Nick Chubb comes to mind, where it's like he comes back, he's still a good running back, but he doesn't have the same burst and acceleration. And Scat already was like average at best in that area. And I know he's tough, but if he can't, kind of have that breakaway speed, if he's below average in speed, there's not going to be much room outside of him just, getting fed, falling forward for 2 yards and calling that a day.
Yeah, the pass catching stuff is big.
I do want to see him play on that injury before I'm like, yes, let me send away a Lemon or a Luther Burden. Like those guys are way above the guys I would be trading for Scat right now.
Yeah. I've been watching. This is part of the survey. It populated into the chat. I haven't liked because I forgot. I've been busy gaming. My apologies, good sir. Thank you for the apology. It is accepted. Also, what are you playing? What are you playing right now?
I'll give a shout out to my wife.
Hey.
Helping out the stream. My coworkers are starting to talk fantasy football for this year. What format gives me the best chance to win? If I know nothing. Now, I mean, I feel like if you don't know anything, you want like just an insane format, like Start 30 or something. But I guess this leads to a question of like, when you play Dynasty and when you play Redraft, is there a different format that you care for? Or is it just like, give me 12 teams, start 11, no matter what? Or is I've never really thought about Redraft format versus Dynasty format. Is there things I care about? Because usually I'm always trying to play certain games.
Yeah.
I feel like the hard part with Redraft is there's just not trades. And that's why I like deeper leagues in Dynasty, because then I want Alec Pierce and Christian Watson to be guys that are worth trading for.
Like hitting on your 8th round pick receiver matters versus whatever. Which one of your top 3 round guys got hurt? Like then you're screwed. Yeah,
like a PPR. I feel like if I wanted to try to scheme in a coworker league, though, I would put like a slight tight end premium. I'd be like 0.1 tight end premium. So that everyone's like, ooh, tight ends are really valuable. And like, ooh, I need to take tight ends. And then you just still fade them all. And everyone's taking all these tight ends early, and you can just soak up all the running backs and wide receivers.
Honestly, any scoring difference that is like different from whatever, like everybody plays default, and then just being the person that will reference, some sort of war, even just like a points per game chart. Like I just used to be obsessed with like applying, and shout out to Jeremy for making this a lot easier than what it was for me 6 years ago when I used to do this on Google Sheets. But I would just like apply the specific scoring format if it was like 20 passing yards per point versus 25, and like what that does to the QB position across the board. So I would recommend, regardless of like how funky or weird the scoring ends up being, I think the best way to take advantage is to just like find a way to visualize like tiers with like individual scoring and having that impact your redraft draft. Because I think too often people focus on like filling out your best starting lineup versus actually what tiers and positions actually matter. There we go.
Pick the default and sleeper for redraft and let autopick do its work.
Banger. Hey, you
buying the sleeper ADP is a little wonky. I don't know if I'm trusting that.
We got the tight end premium is so fun. We got the AJ Barner and then the T-Ferg. Are you guys, anyone buying the T-Ferg? Is the Rams wide receiver 3? We always get these like random like
it's like what's his
one
name?
B reporter
Mumfield,
right?
Mumfield and what's his competition? I don't know.
Jordan Whittington.
I mean, I think they're all going to be useful. I mean, they ran a lot of 2 tight end
Yeah.
sets and stuff like that. Like we saw Parkinson have his time. We saw Ferg get some usage. It's going to be hard to. I wonder if there's going to be enough usage to go around though. Is it going to be like a Colby Parkinson? You hope he falls into the end zone off 5 targets, or bust, because that's kind of how there's just so many options outside of the highly consolidated Puka, Devontae Adams. I'm not super interested in a wide receiver 3 for the Rams, even though it's a tight end, but a wide receiver 3, unless one of them gets injured, right? It's like
Yeah.
Ryan Flournoy on the Cowboys. Very interesting wide receiver 3, but behind Pickens and CD, I'm like, I don't think there's a consistent enough role for me to start him. But if
Yeah.
one goes down, I feel very confident that you can start that guy.
The Florida stuff is like really, really interesting because like, I mean, crazy
good.
Raz
He was
guy,
good.
super athletic. A lot of it was like coming out of college was like him being raw. And I feel like the limited time stuff you saw with like the CD injury last year, like looked, I think a lot more refined than you would think. But I mean, hey, you got Pickens. He's saying he's going to play the 1 year, not on the contract. I mean, is there a chance we're having a Flournoy wide receiver 2? Pickens says, "F you." The Chiefs are giving me 4 years, $160 million to be Mahomes wide receiver 1. Or am
I mean,
I being too wild? I mean, if you were going to pick a receiver,
well, first off, it's Jerry Jones. It's Jerry Jones,
and
so you
it's
can't
George
count that
Pickens,
out.
yeah,
Yeah, so it's kind of like you put 2 crazy people in a room, only one comes out. But
I love George
you
Pickens.
know,
Oh, I'm not going to have
I
enough of
do
him in
think the
Dynasty.
the issue is like we know Jerry Jones doesn't love paying people. He got flamed for moving on from Parsons, which ultimately, like, I mean, not even counting the injury, might be a good move. Just like, hey, our defense outside of Parsons sucked. Let's try to split it apart and build in around other pieces. So I'm a little optimistic there that defense should be slightly improved. I just have a hard time seeing them look at what the Bengals have done with ultimately what was a Super Bowl contender
Yeah.
into, oh, wait, we pay both T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. Let's do the exact same thing here when you have a cheaper option that in Flournoy that you've seen has been able to produce and be solid. I imagine they'll figure out something, but I don't know if both of those wide receivers will still be there. I feel like that's just too much when there's other things that they need to address.
Yeah. All right. I am going to pull together. I do have one of the live stream asks ready. Shout out to Mark Twain. I can get that one set up. And then
You got
Big
the Kyle.
Diaz.
Best way would be to subscribe to Dynasty Daddy Patreon.
True.
Get the ad free on the site. Get the all the premium tools, League Infused, all the cool stuff there. I will say, Music City. You mentioned having. I don't know if you. Oh, you're talking about both of them because you mentioned it. Duh. AJ Barner, T Ferg, in 2 tight end or 2 tight end premium. I mean, some of them are going to be viable. If we're talking start 2 tight ends, then those guys are definitely going to be valuable. And that's kind of the difference between tight end premium and starting 2 tight ends. Which live stream ask are you pulling up first?
Right now I'm an open book. Right now I'm clicking through my files and trying to find the overlay that went missing. So let me ask you, Jeremy.
Yes.
With currently being in the 5th round of the Alpha Daddy League and the 3rd round of Echo,
Yes.
what draft slot and 3rd round reversal, all things equal, would you prefer? Just kind of seeing how those have played out so far.
In general, I think I just want to get to the back of the draft as quick as possible. Like as close to the back as I can.
With the 3rd round reversal too.
Yeah, like I think if I'm looking at honestly, I like 108 and later. Because how hard is it for a player like Ashton Genty? How hard would it be for Ashton Genty to have an amazing year at the 1-2 turn, and then all of a sudden be the 105 in Dynasty startups next year? Because everyone's like, oh, young rookie or young third-year running back, elite, all those things. I feel like when you get the third round reversal, you get a ton of shots at guys that could jump up a round or two and kind of have that Caleb Williams leap. Let's look at some other names. I mean, JSN was going even lower than that. And even guys in this range where it's like you can catch a Malik Neighbors that falls, or Amon-Ra at the 203, or Lamar Jackson, who was last year at like the 102 or 103.
Yeah.
So I just feel like there's so much value at that section in the draft. It's hard for me to say, let me get the 101 and then go from like the 101 in the Daddy League.
Yeah.
Is May, CD, which CD going to the 212 is crazy. It's a little bit the format related.
A lot of these running backs, yeah.
And Lad McConkey, okay? Which is like that's a good start, but you definitely feel the drop off to that 312.
Yeah.
Whereas if you look at all these ones in this range, it's just like McBride, Lamar, London. And you're just like, oh, stud.
Yeah.
Burrow, Amon-Ra, Tyler Warren. And to start 2 tight end premium, those are 3 studs. JD5, Neighbors, Darts. It's like, oh, like you round out your quarterback room, you get elite cornerstone wide receiver. Puka, Justin Jefferson, Jalen Hurts. Future league winner right there. Like it's just, I think it's easier to just stumble into a good roster build when you're getting 3 highish picks.
Yeah. This is a good question. What's up, Remy? Y'all live? Let's go. Appreciate you. I got a dumb question that I cannot seem to find a good answer for online. Does stacking matter in Dynasty? I think all things equal. I'm going to say yes from the perspective of, obviously, these are all 1-game sample sizes in most cases where it is a matchup against another person. So the same way that stacking would matter in winning a best ball tournament with a pool of, you make it to the final rounds after having to be top 2 scorer on the week in a 12-man pod, top scorer in another 12, top scorer in another 12 into the finals. That's 80 people. Obviously, stacking matters in the sense of having to have the nuts outcome. But I think on a season, if I'm not having to force it and really, really reach or move first round picks to do it, if you are expecting a difference making Justin Jefferson season, and this is kind of a tough example because we got a QB battle going on, but don't you think that Kyler Murray is probably having a decent year if Justin Jefferson is back to putting top 10 numbers? That is just quarterback to wide receiver production relation. I think another good way is tight ends. If you're going to grab a crappy whatever tight end later in drafts, why not take Hunter Henry, right? If Hunter Henry scores a touchdown, that is double important for your lineup. And if Hunter Henry has a bad game, that doesn't necessarily mean that Drake May is having a bad week or something. So I think those opportunities to not have the nuts winning a best ball tournament outcome, but to stack your potential wins on top of each other, that when you have to win, 3 games in a row in a playoff series in the playoffs to win the championship, I think leaning on a stack, if all things are equal, I'd prefer.
Yeah, I mean, I think a stack is ideal, and that's ultimately going to be the last tiebreaker for me if I'm making a trade. But it's not like best ball, like you mentioned, best ball brain. You're like, I have to memorize the playoff schedule. I need to know all the potential stacks.
Yeah, you stack games
hit in the playoffs.
In best ball, yeah.
Yeah, in Dynasty, I'm just like, hey, if I am between, I was going to use Drake London, but it's probably not the best example. If it's Amon-Ra and CeeDee Lamb, and I have Jared Goff, give me Amon-Ra because the upside of Amon-Ra, Goff going off together can just completely tilt weeks. And that's a huge deal. But I'm not going to be like, oh, let me tear down from Puka to get Amon-Ra because I need to get the stack.
Yeah.
To me, it's such a light tiebreaker in normal formats because 95, 98% of the time, it's not going to actually impact what happens for your team long term. Yeah, it's you can't rearrange the chairs on the Titanic and get a different outcome. So to me, it's yes, if I am making a trade and it's hey, I have Drake London, maybe I can get Amon-Ra St. Brown, at least get the stack and just make that work. Maybe that helps you out in the long run, but I'm not going to try to overpay a ton to make stacks happen. It's not as important as it is in like best ball, especially those large best ball tournaments.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, this is right here. Stacking running backs is a good idea in my opinion, and talking about like Lamar and Henry, so like a quarterback running back stack. And I think some people would see that and be like, well, Derrick Henry's not really a pass catching running back, and like you're taking points away from your. But to me, it's like offensive environment stacks. So like if you are betting on, so I mean that's the thing in best ball for sure. Going back to that a little bit, where you're drafting a team for the full season, you are wanting to take the teams that are like this year's Bears, you know, like the team that expectations are, you know, middling or low, and they outperform it, are like the difference making top 5 scoring team. I want pieces of that offense. So like if you are making those bets for stacking, I think that's a good call. So like right here, I drafted Luther last year. I was debating on trading for Caleb. Reason I've been curious, which and like we talked about, like you don't want to overpay, I think, to like secure the stack, because that's the way to secure a victory. But to me, it's like offensive environment bets, like I talked about. So like if Luther Burden has an awesome season, Caleb Williams has to have an awesome season as well. Like if it's difference making enough that Luther Burden pick is a smash, or, you know, if Igbuka smashes this year, you know, like it's, the quarterbacks probably had a decent year as well. It's like pretty rare to have a difference making wide receiver year, especially when you're taking these guys in like the top 3-4 rounds, and have the quarterback not have at least decent production.
I will say though, when I'm trying to design my stacks, like Caleb is going to probably be a very expensive piece to buy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, does that fit your actual needs? You know, like, am I going to send all my, you know, a bunch of my draft picks and stuff to go get Caleb Williams for the stack? A lot of times I would try to do it kind of in reverse. I'd be like, do I have the expensive piece? Do I have, I have Josh Allen. Maybe I should go get, DJ Moore, because that should be a cheaper way to get a stack that might tilt the scales in my favor. Not saying don't get it. It might fit your build, but oftentimes starting from the less expensive piece, which Luther Burden is certainly expensive, but going up to Caleb Williams, who's getting picked in the first round of startup drafts right now, is, you know, that's going to cost you an arm and a leg.
It's like doubling down on an 11. Couldn't have said it better myself. What's up, Sean? How we doing? And shout out to Mark Twain. Got the message up here. And actually have an overlay that looks like somebody made it. Like it was actually supposed to be on the screen. Drafted in a startup last weekend. Already have interest in Danny Dimes. So this is a Brock Purdy, Mendoza, Dimes QB room. I'm tempted to sell the likes of Dimes, Swift, Kittle, and Andrews with aim to take the season, given how all in some of the guys went with their teams. I can see the rookies plus neighbors starting slow. Does not look like anyone else is gunning for the 101 next year. Do you guys like the idea, or is it a wait and see? This is an interesting, I mean, the wide receiver room definitely leans more towards, like, in best ball, you'll see a lot of these, like, rookies, like Tate and Tyson go pretty high, but would not surprise me at all if you're not getting difference-making production from either of these guys this year, but they still hold their dynasty value. I don't know, just glancing at this team, overall rank 1, haven't acquired any extra picks, but I assume a lot of that is buoyed.
Like the neighbors, the Genty.
Yeah, the neighbors, the Genty, the high end, and then also having 3 starting quarterbacks. And then it sounds like a lot of the other teams moved their first round picks in the startup.
This is a little random, but I just wanted to shout out the Peanut 11, the Trust the Process. The only Trust the Process that has Bijan Robinson and Marion Hampton, I think, on it.
Wow. And like Luther Burden, Christian Watson,
I know,
Coker,
like this
Antonio
is
Williams.
It's because they got like Keaton Mitchell, Woody Marks. I mean, looking at this league, to be honest,
12 by 10.
Okay, I mean, I don't want to give the lame answer here. I'm kind of okay to wait, and it might be like, well, I'm 11th. Like, there's a lot of like what ifs, but I look at the top teams in here, and there's not a team that's like Puka Nacua, JSN, and, you know, like CMC. Like the talent is very diversified. It's not consolidated within like 4 teams.
Yeah.
To where like, okay, what if Scat comes back good? DeAndre Swift is solid. Jonathan Brooks is actually the RB1 in Carolina.
Yeah.
Genty does well. Like,
Neighbors
there's a
is
lot of
healthy.
like
Kittle's
potential when
good.
Stribling is the guy now that Pearsall's out. It like Kittle comes back sooner than we think. Like, there's
Yeah.
enough
And
like what ifs that I'm like, wait a minute, this team might actually just be in the mix. Like, I
and
don't want to technically pack it in yet.
and two, I think, I mean, think about in season. I think the like value of the week 1 starting lineup trade that people want to make for their teams, like I think you can get similar prices week 3, week 4 if they're producing. That's the big thing. If they're producing, you can get. So like if any of these were moves you're trying to make because you're worried about them not producing, like I don't think there's a world where Swift isn't producing. Like as far as like the pieces you would move, Kittle at some point when he's back and healthy will have a productive Kittle week. Like I'm confident in that. So I don't hate that. Wait,
And like, what are you missing out on?
the only thing is you're missing out on
Like,
cashing
you're
out on
missing
Danny
out on like a
Dimes.
second.
Is that something you want to do heading into the season? But I kind of agree
I
with
mean,
you.
what's the cash out?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, what's
I
the
think
cash out? Like, if he comes back and is good, then that's the cash out. Then if I can get
Yeah.
a first for him because he comes back and he looks pretty healthy.
like this
Like
being
right now,
the
I'm like, oh, I
strongest.
get a second, I get a third. Like, oh, cool, I got 2 seconds and 2/3. Like, no, like let me just see if it hits. Let me see if I can actually start buying.
Any part of you, especially looking at that trust the process team that just has reasonable stud scoring pieces, is there any part of you that thinks the 15% value gain that you're automatically getting by being the first team to choose to tank your pick, is there any part of you that fresh out of the startup, all things equal, you do kind of have the start in the wide receiver room that is like, maybe I'll just move these pieces that are going to score, because you'll be able to sell Swift. It sounds like you're already getting the Dandy Dimes offer. Kittle and Andrews, I think people would still buy. Is there any part of you that would want to at least look at what some of those trades would look like, just with the thought of I get to be the team that's deciding first to tank my pick?
I would say potentially, but that's only because we got Jeremiah Smith. Yeah, like I think it's
Yeah,
because the
right.
draft class is deep. But that being said, like how low do I have to go?
Yeah.
Because like if I get rid of Kittle, Andrews, Swift, and Daniel Jones, this team might still be good enough to be like in the mix. Like I don't know about like a Tyson Tate, Genty, like it's not so bad where I'm like, oh yeah, just trade away those guys and you'll be locked into
Yeah.
the like an early first.
For
Like
sure.
it's hard for me to really project because the talents, and you can see, I mean, there's a trusted process, and frankly, he's the trusted process only because there's like 10 frisky teams. Like it's like
Right.
7 frisky teams. There's 2 contenders, 2 frauds. Like all these teams are actually really close to each other, and it will be like the 1 or 2 trades that happen that actually like tilt the scales. Like once someone makes a big trade, then all of a sudden there's going to be those contenders that shoot up really high.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, there's just so many moving parts with this team that I think would impact how you want to handle things. And yes, the Hall of Fame game is approaching, but we're still, a month out of actual NFL football. Like that does not feel like a long time because we've been waiting so long to get real football, but it is a long time in terms of setting your week 1 lineup.
And I think too, this is that one where it's like, okay, Malik Neighbors starts off slow or is out extra long.
Yeah.
Genty, the Raiders are bad like we thought. Mendoza's on the bench. Like if things start going south, I'd be much more inclined to be like, okay, yeah, let me sell these things off because Neighbors is out longer than I thought. And Tyson and Tate aren't absolute screaming out of the gate. But I mean, like we saw that last year. I mean, you could walk into just Egbuka. It's like if you had a bad team, but you had Egbuka, and then Egbuka pushes you out of the Jeremiah Smith sweepstakes, you're like, well, I can't trade Egbuka on a rebuild. Like that doesn't make sense. Yeah, like that's kind of the hard part with this is like I don't want to. It's not like you have older win now pieces where I'm like, yeah, get rid of Christian McCaffrey, get rid of Derrick Henry. It's like you're getting rid of DeAndre Swift. It's like that's not going to that's not going to win you a season. If Genty starts dropping 30 points per game, that will win you a season, but you're not going to get rid of him. But that's a guy that is part of the rebuild.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I do think a part of that too, Sean's talking about a team I would hate to have. You could come out strong and F up the tank. Like, I think that is why this is a question I want to answer come, right before the start of the season, where it's like you are, okay, oh, Kittle's ready. Neighbors actually played in the preseason, looks good. And like, okay, wait, we actually, I've got a solid starting lineup. Like, let's see what this thing can do for a couple weeks and then, decide. Or you get the, wow, Neighbor's actually unexpectedly going to start in the pup and Kittle not expected back until week 4. And then you're like, okay, I'll move my Danny Dimes. I'll move my Mark Andrews. Like, I'm fine leaning into the tank versus pushing in pieces that I don't want to make my team better.
I think it's like a week 2, week 3 thing where it's like, okay, like Tyson, Tate are coming out screaming. Okay. Like maybe I have a team. Maybe I should, try to live with it. But I don't want to be like, let me trade away all my good play or all these old win now pieces. And then Tate starts dropping 20 points out of the gate. And you're like, wait a minute. He's a top 3 dynasty wide receiver. And the Titans look amazing. Like there's some things that we don't know. And I'll let those play out. What if Cam Scottaboo is that guy that's touching the ball 20 times a game and running the rock and doing backflips over people? Like, if that happens, like I want to make sure I can actually enjoy those points and not just be like, oh man, I wish I didn't trade all my players. Cam Scottaboo's dropping 30 points a week on my team and my team averages 50.
Yeah. And then you're like, anyone want now I feel like I want to get 2 firsts for him at this point. And it's, and
everyone's like, dude, like we know you have to sell him because your team sucks. Like to me, the worst thing you can do in Dynasty is like the rebuild that's like 4 years. Be like, I'm blowing up my team so much. And then you're like, cool, I have Jeremiah Smith and then a bunch of scrubs. Like, I don't want to be stuck in that zone either.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to get Big Diaz's ready, but I love this. I trust Danny Dimes, but history shows I shouldn't. Danny Dimes is so funny. There's a couple players that are like this, where at different times in the offseason, they were like a regretful worst startup pick I ever made. And you look at that same startup draft midseason for the Colts last year, and you're like, let's go. Like, Danny Dimes, what a pick. Heck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Danny Dimes to me kind of gives me the Geno Smith on the Seahawks kind of vibes. Where I feel like if you're in a curated, it's like a house plant, right? Or something. Like it's like you have to make the perfect environment for it to grow, otherwise it will die. And you took Geno out of a good environment in Seattle and put him in a bad one. He's not a plant that can grow anywhere. He looked like trash. Now he's back. Now he wrote back. And someone like Daniel Jones didn't really look great in this situation in New York. Goes to Indiana, and we all thought Indiana was toast. Like we're like, they're going to fire their coach. They're going to get rid of their GM finally. Like they're going to clean house. And all of a sudden, it started clicking. So I do think there is, like, he kind of gives me that, like, houseplant vibe of, like, you got to put him in the right spots. He's not someone that's going to find his own spots. You got to make sure that he's in the right spots to thrive. Because otherwise, he's just going to fall on his face.
There's the, shout out to Ray. What is it? The truck or the trailer? He is, he's in the car. He's in the passenger seat. All right,
who is it? So the bus driver? That's like a inside the NBA or something.
Yeah.
Are you in the bus or are you driving the bus?
No, when you say bus driver, I'm just thinking about, is that anyone play Tony Hawk's Underground? Bus driver, the music artist, the Imaginary Places. Anybody? Imaginary Place. No, you got nothing. Anybody?
Nah, that misses me.
Somebody? Can somebody in the chat be like,
I missed that one.
I need one person, even if it's not true, I want you to say,
okay.
Heck yeah.
Bus driver's from Charles Barkley. That's where it's from.
Okay.
I was like, I remember listening to Inside the NBA, and he talks about bus drivers being like the superstar.
Honestly, true. Oh man, Diaz logged me out of my Dynasty Daddy account. I'm getting ads now. All right, here we go. I clicked on the Diaz. This is a juicy one. All right. Inbox offer. This is a really sick team. Actually, let me just show you the team first. Lamar, Hurts, Genty, Cook, Walker, Kenny Gainwell, Ramondre, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Sutton Shaheed Diggs, Mark Andrews, Chig, and Joku Dulcich, Tonjes. Inbox offer, my Jefferson for Burden and Parker Washington. I sent him JJ for Burden and a first originally, which I love. Wait, do I love? Gosh, man, I'm really trying to like contain my Burden hype. I'm pretty in.
Are you really doing like, hey man, Justin Jefferson, one bad year, see ya, kick rocks?
No, dude, I'm excited. All right, I need to calm down. This is his counter he's tanking. I'm the one on the top. Usually just try and build a war chest for in-season attrition, which I love, especially on these sick teams. You do have your own first and 3 seconds in 27. Like,
yeah, 3 seconds.
I don't know. Are you doing that kind of trade? I don't think you need to.
0.75 tight end premium, so Chig is a option as well. I'm saying I'm not doing it. There's very few players that can have a bad year, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just trust them. Justin Jefferson is one of them.
Yeah,
and I just have a hard time saying, yeah, it's over. Sure, the situation might not be much better with Kyler, but we've seen Kyler support wide receiver ones in fantasy football before with Hopkins. Hollywood Brown had a decent stretch. Like, there's guys that are solid. Like, he's able to support them. I just have a hard time giving up Justin Jefferson. I'm like, I can't do something else. And I sit here, I'm like, Devontae Adams, Sutton, Shaheed, Diggs, Chig, Kenny Gainwell, Vidal. Like, I feel like there's enough here to round it out. Now, if I was getting a future first, I'd be like, maybe that's something that could, make it a little bit more exciting. But what I see here is like Luther Burden, hype train, Parker Washington, hype train. I don't know if I want to buy both hype trains. And sending away a guy that, whether or not you'll like it, whether or not he's an elite fantasy producer for the rest of his career, he's going to be, at best or at worst, like a low-end wide receiver 1, high-end wide receiver 2 for the next 5 years, barring some crazy injuries. So I'm like, don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Just because he's not the sexy name anymore. I'm not going to bite on a Burden because I will plant the flag right now. I like Burden, but I doubt he'll ever be a Justin Jefferson caliber fantasy asset at any point in his career.
Yeah, I agree. Stop the JJ hating for sure. I mean, 100% was how hyped am I about Luther Burden for that type of deal?
I'm hyped about Burden, but I'm like, hey, can I if I was the Burden manager team, and I'm like, I can get Justin Jefferson, like, sign me up.
Yeah, with this team, like Genty, Cook, Walker. I mean, like, the nice thing is, with this like super strong contending number 1 starter ranked team, good running back room, sick wide receiver duo, you have your own first and the 3 seconds. Like, this is big for me to not feel like I need to do this type of move.
Yeah.
Like, if you're able to move,
if you only had one pick that was in 2029 or something,
right,
then it's like, yeah, I need to split them for stuff. But
yeah,
there's no need to do that.
Even have an extra third and, first and 20, like being able to, and I think would not surprise me at all if you have 5 running backs you're okay starting. We're getting some Kenny Gainwell pony personnel. I don't know if you guys have been following the Buck stuff, but I mean, obviously Robinson being a big 2 running back guy.
Which is the 5th one? Is that Stevenson?
Yeah. You don't think would you be surprised if week 1 Ramondre just gets like 15 carries and you're like, dang, like one of the offenses we're all bought in on, and this guy's getting 13, 14. I just think they don't use a third guy is the thing.
I think that the death of Travion Henderson might be almost time to start buying.
Oh, I almost took him with that Saquon pick. If I wasn't a contending team, I'm down to buy. I mean, the playoff stuff is spooky.
Stevenson was just in there because their offensive line was falling apart and they were playing all the good defenses and they needed somebody to pass block.
Trust it. And you're starting to get the blurbs about like the pass blocking has not improved, like from beat reporters and everything. Yeah, which like, if that's gonna push him down to.
Tootin hype is looking like he like they saw God on the field.
It is, guard your hearts, guys, because it is.
I'm ready to be hurt.
It's hype season for everybody. There was a Chris Rodriguez back from injury hype report. Looks like a monster. Like we're cooked, guys. In the internet age, it's over.
We are cooked.
I do like buying JJ. I mean, JJ is just he is not treated like a first round best ball wide receiver pick like he is across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sean, listen to me. Can I do the Bucky? We're gonna do the Bucky segment because I do think that we're both on the camp of don't worry about this, doing this deal. Your team is sick and you have flexibility.
Yeah, we can have Bucky corner.
Okay.
The weekly segment.
Here's the sell Bucky now ... Your favorite or least favorite. Every fantasy analyst has some sort of I don't really like Bucky at these prices. Let's try to move on Bucky. Like everybody is feeling the sell Bucky. To me, I think yes, I will give credence to the third down role being a Kenny Gainwell thing. There was he's being used as a receiver. I think there's another part of it that's you've seen a lot of Bucky being. I think there was like some report that was like we're not really seeing Kenneth Gainwell be used as a runner. Like it's been like a receiver kind of thing. And I think Robinson is kind of one of those coaches that like wants to take advantage of their players and their skill sets. And especially with how strong the offensive line is, all the injuries they had last year. Like if you look at the Bucky, what was Bucky's yards per carry? A lot of people point to these like metric stuff with the Bucks having all the injuries they had last season, with Bucky dealing with the shoulder injury, which all signs are he's through it. So last year, 3.4 yards per carry for Bucky. Mm-hmm. Rookie season, 5.42 with 207 carries. To me, I think that Kenny Gainwell's role is going to be Rachaad White plus. But even with Rachaad White's role last year, I mean, look at these Bucky games. I'm giving you pure touches. I'm going week 1 through the injury, and then I'll go week 13 through the end of the season. This is total carries and receptions. 18, 23, 29, 20, 19, 17, 17, 19, and then he had a 14 game against Miami, and then 27. Like, to me, I am projecting Bucky to be somewhere within the 18-20 touch per game role, and I think Bucky is sick as hell, number one. Dynamic. I believe in the Bucs offense bounce back with a lot of the injuries that dealt with the offensive line last year and the Baker injury stuff and the Bucky injury stuff. I'm a big I'm a buy Bucky now at sell Bucky now ... prices. Jeremy, can I get an amen?
Oh, amen. I mean, I've been preaching that for a long time. And I mean, I'll say too, I think interesting stats to think about. 2024, we loved Bucky Irving, right? 52% rush share in the offense, right? So he wasn't dominating the ball. They were sharing the ball with Rachaad White, Sean Tucker, all those guys. 16% target share. Last year, his down year, he's so bad. 53% rush share, 12% target share. The numbers are still there, right? And I don't expect him to go below 50%. So he's still able to produce elite numbers his rookie year and some last year on 50% rush share. I don't expect Gainwell to ruin what was one of the premier dynasty assets last year in terms of Bucky Irving.
And the goal line stuff, like I think you do have to acknowledge it in some capacity. Last year, obviously, we saw that stretch. Tucker. Like he lost a ton of work to both Tucker and Rachaad White at the goal line department. To me, I think that very much so the shoulder injury stuff, returning from the injury, there's been a lot of there's a lot of weird vibes where I think it was a big mental thing for him. And I think the team had kind of talked about that a little bit and like obviously aren't going to be super open talking through everything with that side of it. But would not surprise me at all if a lot of that goal line stuff was, hey, this guy returning from the injury dealing with this, we're not going to jam him into the line, 2-3 yards out at the goal line while he's dealing with this, when we saw them being willing to do that and have an equal split rookie year. One hit wonder percentage. Okay, Sean, I hear you, but can I urge you to go watch some Bucky Irving highlights? He just has one, I think, like dynamic, and for a guy who's like not like insane athlete speed, his like contact balance. Oh man, You know what kind of gave me a flashback of, which I don't want to say out loud, but I feel like I have to because it rocked in my brain. I probably was saying the same things about Damian Pierce and how strong his contact balance was.
Now you talked yourself out of it.
No. I will never talk myself out of Bucky. Bucky will need to be like not signed to a team for me to give up on Bucky. But no, to me, I just think I urge you, Sean, just watch some Bucky Irving highlights. All right, if this is not good at fantasy dynasty analysis, to the go watch some film, bro. I just need you in your heart of hearts. I need you to root for Bucky 5% more than you are mentally right now. And I think watching Bucky Irving highlights will do that. That boy nice, dude.
I will say the reason I like Bucky is when you start at his current price, you look at the guys in his range and his ceiling is just so much higher. I do understand he could be a one-hit wonder. He could fall off. He could have injury issues for the rest of his career, all those things. But his rookie year, he was a true difference maker, and you're able to get him 5th round, 6th round, 7th round. Like, to me, I'm willing to take that bet in these startup drafts. A running back that can be a pass-catching threat. We're talking 12%, 16% target shares. In PPR leagues especially, that's going to be a true difference maker, scrimmage yard nightmare. So that's the main reason I like him. Because if you listen to our stuff last year, I was like, I don't know, man. Bucky Irving's kind of the size he can get. I don't really want to buy Bucky at RB6 prices. But now we're talking about a guy that could be RB6 if he has a full healthy year and is dominating like he did the past year and a half or so. So I'm not super concerned about Bucky. I think it's a good time to buy. Do I think he'll be RB6 again? Probably not, but RB's getting a little deeper, so that's a good thing for all of us.
100%. Yeah, I think a lot of the like rookie hype stuff, a lot of people see like trajectory for players as like this linear thing where like, look what they did in the rookie year, expect this for year 2. And like, man, football seasons it's dynamic, dude. Injury stuff, not even just a Bucky obviously dealt with injuries, but offensive line. There's some stat I will butcher about the Bucs' current healthy offensive line, how many snaps they all played together last year. That would make you say, "Wow, Will, what a great stat." So let's just pretend that was executed properly.
Wow, Will,
you got good analysis.
That was very insightful.
Yeah. That's what you can expect from the Dynasty Daddy YouTube channel. All right, we do have a live stream ask. Shout out to Dude Crush in the Daddy League. This is
a culture question.
Wait, where is this team? Oh, there it is. All right. Trust the process. In a super shallow league. All right, I'll share my screen here.
10 teams start 8.
10 team start 8. Work league is super small. Wait, what's the wow, Will? Did I say something bad? I don't know. I actually don't even remember what I said.
Dang, wow. Don't even remember it.
I just be saying stuff, guys. All right, we got the stream on for somewhere between an hour and 2.5 hours. I'm gonna say some stuff. All right, work league is super small. 10 teams start 8. Kicker, defense, gross. We're reviewing possible changes. Yo, jeez. Just get 2 more people and just draft a whole new league. Sorry, I'll read through. I shouldn't have said that. What are some things you'd recommend? Well, but we'll go on to something else. Median scoring, changing a tight end premium, commissioners pros, reducing the bench spots by 2. Horrible idea. The issue, you're gonna run into a couple things. One, and I mean, maybe everyone's cool with it. I am once the league scoring settings and everything has been established, that is how it is. The draft happened. People made picks. They made trades based off of this specific scoring stuff. So like bumping a tight end premium, it's like the guy with Bowers and Trey McBride and Colson Loveland are like, hell yeah. And the guys with the bad tight end rooms are like, no, why are we doing this? But to me, Jeremy, I need you to save me. I just am so like, do you have an energize the league that isn't a scoring change? Adding
I have a little
people,
trivia game.
dispersal?
A little trivia game here for you. Guess what year this league started?
I'm only gonna look at this team here. Cooper Kupp, Mooney. 2020. It's a work league. How long can Dude Crush hold the job? 2022.
2023. That was.
Oh, okay.
I mean, honestly, I will say, Dynasty Work League.
Yeah.
For more than a couple years, you're like, hey, is this person with the company anymore? Does he keep his name?
Yeah.
Like, how does that work?
I've had that.
But I was looking at the trade history for the league, and we saw October 2023 there was 14 trades, and ever since then, it's basically been non-existent. Last year, March had 5 trades. I assume there's a lot of rookie draft stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think energizing a league, there's a few ways to do it. I mean, I think the format ways you can fix, right? I mean, I think things like, I think you could just say, hey, this league isn't as active as we would like. Maybe we vote on all these rule changes. Like my home league that we do, we have a rules meeting every single year, and people propose rules, and then we have to vote on them, and then they get applied like in 2 years. Now this might be life support, like bring out the defibrillator. Let's put these rules in now to make it more interesting and try to get people more exciting. I think the biggest thing is not removing spots, but adding starters to this league somewhat aggressively is going to be the first thing I would do.
Yeah.
If you can't add new members, I'll probably try to do both. Can I get to 12? Can I get 10 starters, 11 starters, something around that range? Because right now you're talking 10 team, start 8. Like only 6 players on each team matter, and the benches are so small. Like trades are just not going to happen in that type of environment. Who's going to do a 3-for-1 when you're like, crap, I have to roster all of them, and that takes half my bench spots? So I would try to find ways to build out the bench, build out that starting roster. Even if you can't add new people, make it like a 10-team, start 13, start 14. Like make people start Christian Watson, make people start those guys. Yeah. And then
and people get more invested in the ancillary-ish pieces, right? Like, who gives a damn about if Josh Downs is the 2 wide receiver set guy in this league? Like, I'm never starting his ass. So,
you're not starting most people. And then you get like a Bijan, and you're like, well, I'm just going to die with Bijan because he scores half my team's points every year. Yeah. And like, that's just how it is in the shallow league. I also do think and this might be something that you might not want to do, but there's other things outside of it that maybe you're like bored at work and you're like, well, what should I do is, like write something about like the league or something, like something that's helped energize leagues I've had that I care about is like, I used to do like a little newspaper or something for my league and like kind of talk trash and pull in analytics and history about the league and kind of do like, I mean, I added in recently a bunch of league legacy scores and things like that on the site that frankly I use when I'm like, oh, like that's what I would used to do. It'd be like, oh, what's the head-to-head matchup of these two teams, and kind of build a little bit more of like a storyline and make people care about it a little bit more than just, oh, this is another random fantasy league. Yeah. And I think that is something too, is like if you can do that, especially if like all y'all work together, and especially if you're in person, you're going to be able to like get, be like, oh, I'm, instead of talking about KPIs, you can be like, oh, like I can't believe, I got flamed in the weekly newspaper or something. Like, I think those are the things that can help with the culture of the league. And then obviously improving the format to where trading and making moves is more viable. Because right now this league is like, either I'm tanking and I have Will Shipley as my starting running back, and I'm trying to get anything I can get. Or like I have like this team, right? Bijan, Hampton, A-Chain, Puka, Chris Olave, Brennan Strange, Caleb Williams, Joe Burrow.
Benching Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, so this is a good question here. So how do you go about adding more spots? And this is you say like, hey, we're starting 3 receivers now and just whoever's on their bench. The issue, and like I mentioned and you recognize and acknowledged, is somebody is getting the short end of the stick when you are changing any kind of format thing, or certain people can feel a certain way about it. I think it's probably hard. I do think you need a strong majority to pass that, because the issue is like to get a full everyone agrees to some sort of like scoring change or format change is, I think, almost impossible, because people are going to look out for what helps them the most. So I think it needs to be a strong majority. It does need to be a vote. All right, can I hit you with a wild, crazy will idea? Or do you have anything to add on that specifically, on like how you would go about it? Because I do think it needs to be a super majority of like at least
it would need
7 out of the 10 people say yes, or 8 or something.
I mean, I think it would be. And I don't want to like maybe steal your thunder.
Yeah.
But I would also say like if you're like, oh, I don't know how the draft would do, or like protecting players, like if everyone wants to keep this league alive, but it's just not working,
switch it up.
Like, why don't you just say, hey, let's press the reset button? Like, no one cared about this league much to begin with. We're doing 3 trades a year in it.
Yeah.
Might as well reset it, start clean, and we can bring in new people to make it and make sure the format is kind of polished in a better way, so we can actually enjoy Dynasty a little bit more than we were in this current format.
Yeah. All right. This is real quick. I know I called it a Will's crazy idea. Let's get crazy. It's a crazy idea, but I'm in the confines of I can't make a scoring or a format change. So how crazy can the idea really be?
Oh boy.
If I can't do that? All right. I'm pretty against this in most cases, but it might be fun for a work league. 10 teams, right? What if we did 2 divisions of 5 teams, top 2 teams? Wait, how would this work? Yeah, that doesn't really work. If you have 6 teams make the playoffs, you can do top 2 teams from each. There's one gets the bye. The winner of each division gets the bye, and it's based off of, record, same kind of points thing, but you're in 2 different divisions. And then you could have the last 2 slots go to the highest point scorers. So I think like some kind of like changing where that you're not actually changing the scoring or the format, but people are having something else to think about. So like, because I could see John in accounting starts the season and he's like 5-5 and he's like, my team's okay or whatever. But if he can like think about, if I'm whatever, a top scoring team, or I'm in the top 2 scoring teams that don't make the playoffs, I can still get in that way. So I think like different kind of like weird changes like that. Division winners, best 3 teams, best point scorers. I do think if you're doing 10, you do have to do the math where it's like 2 buys if you're going to have 6 teams make the playoffs. Because I do like giving buys, even though it feels ridiculous to push 6 teams into the playoffs. But yeah, I know that idea wasn't too wild.
You could do the whatever that card game's called, where if you win, then you can just add a rule.
Oh. What about
So if you win the league, you can just be like, oh, actually, now we have this tight end premium.
Okay, what's it called? I totally forgot. I've never done one of these before, but it is a league where it's like Empire League, right? Where when you win,
3 years in a row.
I think usually it's 3, but I'd be down to make it smaller to just like totally reset this league. Back-to-back league winner, if that ever happens, you reset. It immediately changes the dynamic. If there's people that are already kind of interested in resetting the league, but they know it's like kind of not fair to certain teams that are like super strong at the moment. So 1, you're pushing towards a reset where you can fix things. 2, it's already changing the dynamic right now because people are into like, oh, okay, new kind of. I mean, you probably would have to make it a little bit juicy, where like $10 of the pot or something is donated to whoever ends up winning the Empire, so that people push for it. But I don't know. Oh, 2 championship week, interesting.
I will say the Mick 530 did have started the league off with back-to-back championships.
Oh dang, already empired. Well, don't tell them it doesn't work retroactively. League winner cannot trade a first-round pick. Okay. Yeah, I think the issue is my actual answer to that question is just give up on that league and find 2 more people and do like a 12-team start 10 or 11 where it's deep enough that people have to care about individual players that aren't just Mike Clay's top 100 for the next season. But yeah, so I think doing something funky like that, I think could
yeah, man, I think there's fun ideas of like,
I do think the other question is
add random rules or stuff like that.
The other question is like how many people, like, have you talked to some of the other coworkers that are like, yeah, bro, this league is dead, like we got to do something. Like if there's a couple people like that, you can definitely inspire some kind of fun idea or change. Bring some stuff to the table. Put some time on everyone's Outlook. 45-minute meeting to discuss how we're going to fix the Dynasty League.
Yeah, you got to reserve a conference room in teams.
Yeah. All right. Let us know if you have any other questions. I got a big news announcement. / I have to go potty soon. But, guys, I got the interview. I have actually, funny enough, I have an interview call tomorrow morning. So I'm kind of like doing the outro. I'm starting it a little bit early. I have to do a phone call for when I was mass applying for jobs. So not a job I'm super excited about, but I do have a phone interview tomorrow morning. But I have the final interview round next week, actually on Tuesday. So
on Tuesday,
so
vibes might be high or low.
I'll let you know how it goes. It's like a I think I'm meeting with like 5 or 6 people are going to be in the room interviewing me in my khakis and white dress shirt. So wish me luck.
Oh, you got to put on your Sunday's finest.
I don't know. I'm thinking no tie.
Yeah, no ties to move.
Yeah, I think it's just it feels a little middle school dancey. I feel like to just wear a tie to an interview.
But I guess I'm in tech, so like half the time it's like people show up in like cargo shorts, and like flip flops. So, but yeah, I do feel like it's kind of like it's like an intern. Like the first day an intern shows up, they always have like a lanyard and like a full suit and tie, like very like, and then you're like, dude, like. That's not how we dress here.
Yeah.
Like,
I got a bow tie. Like Ember. Ember.
You got the young Sheldon look.
Yeah, Ember. She's very pro bow tie. She thinks it's like the coolest thing ever. So like anytime I'm wearing like a polo or something, she's like, put your bow tie on. I'm wearing like a golf polo to go play golf. She wants me to put a black bow tie on it.
You're like guarding your collar. You're like, please don't make me wear a bow tie.
So we'll see. I'll probably fight against the bow tie for the interview. I think that's if there was ever a move, that would not be
a bow tie in the car, and then you can just top it off.
There we go. Show them up.
The bow tie.
All right, we've got so I did have some people for sure. If you're in the golf foxtrot, appreciate your patience. I think those are going to get started. I already had one person DM me, and I know Jeffrey Jacobs, I think, shout out to you, had noted in the chat that he would be willing to join one of those. So those for sure will be filled in the next day or two. I wanted to...
Maybe Kyle, right? Kyle said he...
Oh, did Kyle say?
I thought so. Maybe I was reading it wrong.
I know Kyle, and then at least, shout out to Kyle, we'll at least do the Kyle Redraft League. Which is kind of funny because I backed out of a Kyle league. Apologies, Kyle. I was making cuts, man, and when you're making cuts, the new redraft league is the first to go. That's just how it is.
Yeah, you don't have like the ties. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm orphaning a dynasty team, and now everyone's like, is the league gonna fold?
Yeah. All right. Any parting words other than make sure Thursday you mark your calendars for the Carolina Panthers, Arizona Cardinals Hall of Fame game?
Yeah, Beck versus Pickett.
That's what everyone's been waiting for. College legends.
That's, two ACC quarterbacks.
It'll be a battle in some capacity. I wonder if we'll see any love. I saw Jonathan Brooks not expected to play. Has anyone seen anything on love? I assume not.
He's usually not expected to play.
Hampton got a couple carries in the Hall of Fame game, right?
I bet Love will get like 2 carries, and it'll be like, "Ooh, maybe this is exciting," and then they bench him. The good thing though,
2 carries, and then Algier gets a goal line touch in the Hall of Fame game. Why are they giving him a goal line carry?
That would be like a like such a funny like satire tweet. of like,
yeah.
let's analyze the RB usage in a Hall of Fame game.
Hey, Jeremiah
Like,
Love.
Jeremiah Love washed.
Hey, listed as the RB2 in the Cardinals' first depth chart ahead of the Hall of Fame game. Everyone
Totally.
get your
That's
Tyler
totally
Algier
what's going to happen.
Dude,
Those early depth charts are very funny.
What's one of the questions you are going to ask? That is a great. I assume this is interview based. Part of me was thinking, is this Dynasty question?
Yeah, I was like, Dynasty. I was like, we asked Sean.
I think you have to, and I did ask this in the phone call interview, but I think there's going to be multiple people there, including the person I talked to on the phone. So I think it's fine to bring it back up. I think you got to do the classic. One, like any reservations that I can address in terms of like me being able to, fulfill your expectations, exceed your expectations for this role. I think that's a banger question that's got to be on there. And I think two, paired with that, and I'll probably find is the, 1-2 months into the role, what are the things that you look back or would look ahead to? All right, this is a good thing we're talking through this right now.
Yeah, this is.
So I'm trying to
POV. You're the mirror while Will's practicing.
Please, can I have the job? I'll do a really good job, I promise.
Lights too bright.
No, but it's the like, what are the things that you would see in me in the role 2 to 3 months in that would make you say, we got him. That's the guy. Like, we got the right guy for the job. Something like that. That was a little bit better than the first take, but I think the third take is going to be the best in the mirror.
I got another one for you to add.
Yeah.
Is that who wins in a fight, 25 men or a bear?
I thought you were going to do you ever watch Hot Rod? You have to have watched Hot Rod.
Yeah.
What's the,
I like the party.
well, there's it's 100% like moderately racist, but it's the who would win in a fight, and it's a grilled cheese sandwich and a taco. Denise says a grilled cheese would win, but a taco wins under prison rules, to which Rod replies, that's pretty racist, but correct. All right, there we go. There's a little Hot Rod quote for you guys. That's how we end the stream. There will be a Dynasty Daddy YouTube video at some point in our lives.
We still make those.
We still make those. We will still make those. And if not, there will be a live stream next Tuesday. And also maybe a best ball stream tomorrow. You would have thought. There we go. Little LUL there. There we go. We're good.
Yeah.
Here we go. We got on the horizon potentially a best ball stream tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We've got not potentially, for sure, YouTube video. I think we want to take a look at some of our favorite startup picks. Being in the weeds and the streets. We did want to wait until we felt the feel of a startup draft, and we've gotten the feel and the taste. I was saving myself for the Daddy community leagues, and we're in the midst of them. So we will have
the phrasing's immaculate.
That's what I'm known for. I get it all out on here so that I don't have bad phrasing in real life.
In the interview, they're like, I'm saving myself for y'all.
I've been saving myself for this job. I just feel like my whole career I've been saving myself for you guys. I can't wait to be the best. I like that because it was in the mindset. Oh, yeah. Yeah, heck yeah. Actually, banger. Yeah, agreed. Drake Mantha 101, Obs is a smart money choice. Yeah, we'll talk on the worst picks you can make in a startup.
Drake May 101 worst.
Drake May in the first round. CD Lamb in the late second. Wait, what? It's just dude crushes whole draft. I appreciate you all. Jeremy,
that would be a good bit. Just like pick one random draft,
and we will have
whole one. This whole draft board. You know what? Taking this player in the 8th round. That sucks.
We will also have the Kyle Dynasty video reaction fantasy breakdown where we rip apart his first ever fantasy YouTube video. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, our new Dynasty Fantasy Football React channel will take off.
You know what I was going to pull up on stream, and we can end on this. I was going to pull up my YouTube video. It was my first ever fantasy rankings. I think I made in 2013 or 2014 that exists, and I know where it is. It is privated for sure. If you guys join me on the best ball stream, that may or may not happen tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, we will take a look at that And we'll see how I landed on my top 10, how close I was. We'll do some analysis, how good I was 3 years ago.
I bet CMC was up there.
100%. I remember downloading that PNG. I appreciate you all. See you tomorrow night when the green screen will too. Green screen will tomorrow night.
That it's just gonna be Will messing around in OBS.
It'll be fun. If not good best ball and dynasty and fantasy analysis, it'll at least be funny. We will have the YouTube video coming. Subscribe. Oh, we got a couple subscribers. Let's go. Appreciate you. And we'll get those Foxtrot golf leagues going. And see you next Tuesday for stream. And go Panthers.
I know. We do have to. Panthers have a good track record against the Cardinals too, so I'm not too concerned. We'll get some preseason dubs.
There you go. Heck yeah. All right. I appreciate you all. Peace